Hey guys, what's up? MadSeason here, back with another video for you in the quest log series where I go over some of the more epic or cool quest chains in World of Warcraft.
Okay.
In this one, we're returning to the Scepter of the Shifting Sands chain.
The best quest ever made.
We covered the beginning of the chain, we talked about the war effort to open the gates, some head collecting, some insect part collecting, and how we needed to rebuild this special scepter by going all around the world collecting different colored shards.
Exactly.
We covered the green shard
this is the
in
best
part
quest
1,
ever made.
so you may want to watch that one first. I'll have a link in the description. So, we just have two more to go, the blue and the red shards. The latter was actually pretty simple compared to the other chains.
Okay.
If you remember, our contact for this whole chain, Anachronos, entrusted these shards to various dragons.
I'm just disappointed this guy wasn't alive in beta for us to
The red
kill.
one was entrusted to Velistraz, who you may remember as the second boss in the Black
Yeah, that didn't work out too well, did it?
We already visited this place once for the Broodlord Lashlayer's head, but this time, things are a little more difficult. If you're on this part of the chain, Velistraz will offer you a special quest called Nefarious'
I think you have to kill him. Oh, it's 5? Yeah, I thought it was 2,
He
now it's
explains
5.
to you that Nefarian has stolen the red scepter shard and will destroy it within 5 hours, making this a timed run. That's right, you have to rush from Velistraz all the way to Nefarian
In
which was
only
7
5
bosses total,
hours.
in under 5 hours.
Wow, that's hard to do.
Remember, AQ40 wasn't
Holy
out
shit.
at this point, of course, so this wasn't a joke. It varied from guild to guild, but
it'd take a
you
whole
had to have
hour.
your stuff together to make the timer and have this place on farm. No more help from other raids like with the green shard. This was just you and your guild in a raiding time trial.
Wait, where's that blue dragon come from? Was that always in the game? I don't remember that shit. No, for real, was that? Yeah, or you're in the stream, exactly. Yeah, was that in the game? I don't remember that anywhere.
If you failed, you actually got a pretty funny letter from the man himself, sort of taunting you for your unsuccessful attempt. From the desk of Lord Victor Nefarious, to whom it may concern.
It's like a law office?
How I love these games we play. I can only assume that if you're reading this letter, you have somehow, through miracle or divine intervention, managed to vanquish me. Preposterous, I know, but stranger things have happened in the history of this world.
Okay.
As with all things in life, there is a glorious silver lining of tragedy, chaos, and evil in this sorrowful tale. While you have slain me, you have done so in such a slow and disorderly fashion that I have had time enough to write this letter after I destroyed your only hope of saving this world.
Wow.
The crushed red crystal
That's
powder
actually cool.
is all that is left
What the
of your
fuck?
scepter shard. Enjoy the Nemesis and Stormrage armaments that you may find in my treasure trove. Believe me when I tell you this, I take great pleasure in knowing that I did what my father could not. Sincerely, Lord Victor Nefarious, aka the artist formerly known as Nefarian.
If Blizzard did something like that now, players would somehow figure out a way to turn it into Blizzard making fun of them and bullying them. And they would have to take this out of the game.
Jeez, what a jerk. But if you were successful, that was it. You got the red shard. And again, just like the Broodlord Lashlayer and the Nightmare Shard from the Twilight Corruptor, just one dropped. So this is the third single drop item we've covered so far, so at this point, most of the people who started this chain were weeded out, and only a select few would press on through this gauntlet of questing, grinding, and raiding. You had until the Cataclysm expansion to finish this chain,
Yep, I did mine in
but
Wrath.
to get all of the rewards, you were under a strict time limit here, so time was of the essence.
Send that later
And
too
in
when you
addition
bid
to the
raid
shard,
finder
you
only.
also
That'd
got
be a
a
good
choice
idea.
between some Shadow Resistance Agility legs, or a Shadow Resist amulet. Like I said, pretty straightforward.
Nobody
compared
cares
to
about
that
Shadow
green
Resist.
shard,
It's a waste.
although it was still pretty challenging. Just one more to go.
Which one was
The
this?
blue shard, you may remember, was given to Azurgos for protection.
Oh!
You could find him in Ashara, either
This
his
is the
dragon or
Draconic
his
for
spirit.
Dummies, wasn't it?
He was an outdoor raid boss, so It was problematic also having him as a quest giver.
Yeah, that was a
so
little
they
silly.
had mercy, and they gave you an alternate way to speak with him via his ghost.
Oh, that's great.
So, you engage with conversation with him, he hands you the shard, and that's it. Nah, just kidding. Of course he doesn't have the shard.
That's what would happen in BFA.
Great choice of guardians, by the way, Anna.
Yeah.
He says the reason he lost it is because he can't take 5 steps without some crazed orc or a human trying to thrust a stick into his hide.
Yeah,
Well, he kind of has a
that'll be
point there, I
distracting,
guess.
sure.
Us adventurers are kind of maniacal, mindless killers if you really think about it. He says that he held onto the shard for 500 years and it was nothing but trouble, so he sort of pawned it off to a minnow. But not just any minnow, a magical one.
Oh,
And
wow.
to lure it out, you need a device called an Arcanite buoy.
Yep.
To build this buoy, he gives you a ledger / schematic to deliver to a gnome in Tanris named Narain Soothfancy. But there's just one problem. The schematic is written in Draconic language, and to decipher it, you need some scrying goggles, Volume 2 of Draconic for Dummies, and a 500-pound chicken.
Of course.
As you probably guessed, these items are locked behind quest chains. First, we have the scrying goggles. Narain explains
I don't
that
remember this
his
at all.
ex-best friend
Yeah, I
forever,
forgot this part
Stubble,
entirely.
stole these goggles long ago, and that we have to go steal them back.
What the fuck? Yeah, I totally
He
forgot
says
about
that Stubble is either in the
Oh.
Outland or the Silver Pine Forest next to the Greymane Wall,
Okay, well,
which
that
at
kinda
this
narrows
point
it down.
enclosed all of the Worgen. Well,
Thank God.
considering that the Burning Crusade hadn't launched yet, he's probably at the wall.
this. Yep.
Looking around, you found no
Quest line is
NPC,
infinite,
but
yeah.
you did find an inconspicuous crate to the left of the road near the gate. Investigating, you find that Stubble is in the crate hiding. He's been running away from Narain, even going through the dark portal to the Outland. He says that he'd give
That's a
up the
bad idea.
goggles, but he lost them in the Molten Core raid. So, just like every other part of the chain, we got some more raiding content here. These goggles had a very low
What a
chance to
mistake.
drop from any trash mob
What a
inside the
mistake,
instance,
dude.
so it's not too bad. I think most guilds had this place on farm by now, so this was the easier part of the chain, I'd say.
Okay.
If you return the goggles to Narain, you get some potions as a bonus, and that's one of 3 items down. For the chicken, you're sent to a goblin named Dirge Quickcleave in the Gadgets and Inn, also in Tanris. He says that you're out of luck because there doesn't exist a 500-pound chicken, surprisingly enough, so we'll have to improvise.
Oh,
He
yeah!
sends you to the Isle of Dread
This
in
is
the
the guy we were
Fairless
trying
Zone,
to kill.
which is filled with high-level
Yeah, this
elite
is it.
chimera. You need to kill
This
him
is the guy
until
we're
you
trying to
get
kill
20
here.
chimeric tenderloins, and then you need to take out the biggest one there,
Okay.
named Lord Lackmaran. You need to loot his carcass. For the generic elite chimera, you only needed a party of people,
It was easy.
perhaps even soloable by some classes. Lord Lackmaran, however, needed a raid to take down, so you needed your guild with you. And to follow the scheme of things, he only dropped 1 carcass per kill, so if he had multiple people on this part, you'd have to do a bit of farming and compete against other guilds too, since it was out in the world. There was no
See, this thing was really fucking hard to kill. Like, whenever I finally sold this, I felt like a fucking god.
server hopping back then, so
No,
you
I-
just have to camp it.
I watched half of this. I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched
If
like
you're successful, you return
first
to
2 or 3
Dirge.
minutes of it.
But to complete the recipe, he offers you the follow-up quest where he asks for 20 each of Deep Rock Salt
Oh, that
and
shit's
Goblin
easy.
Rocket Fuel.
Yeah, you just buy that
Rocket
from a vendor,
Fuel
I'm
was
pretty
an
sure.
engineered reagent made by alchemists,
Really?
and the salt you could get from earth elementals throughout the
Yeah, it's
world,
a joke.
so this part was soloable, thankfully.
This is where you got the pattern.
And
yeah,
as
there
a
it is.
reward, you get the purple cooking pattern, Dirge's Kickin' Chimeric Chops,
Those were the best foods back in the day for vanilla. Like, that was the only food that gave you 25 stamina. That's a huge amount of fucking health, man.
which is a rarity today. You can very rarely find it on the auction house at a steep price, but they're hard to come by.
Yeah, who the fuck would still have that?
If you learned it, you got a powerful food item that gave you 25 stamina at the time, which was nothing to sneeze at. But it did require that chimera meat to make, so It was kind of difficult to farm.
There's only one Chimera left in the game that drops it.
But anyways, back to the quest.
Because they destroyed the island.
Dirge improvises that 500-pound chicken for you and has you deliver it to Narain.
Okay.
That's 2 of 3 complete.
Those are the easy 2.
The last one was the most involved, and that's Draconic for Dummies Volume 2.
This was ridiculous.
Narain says that he has the book hidden away on a faraway island south of the Tannerus Zone, and he said that he needed a gyrocopter to reach it, which is great because you couldn't fly at this point. So, he tells you to find this crashed gyrocopter on the southern beach of the zone and swim south from there. But the problem is that the island is located in fatigue waters, and simply swimming there will result in your death.
I want to try to get here on the beta. I think we can.
You could use water walking spells or swim speed potions to get there, but if those weren't available, you had to do a little side quest here.
Yep.
You have to find a special friendly Naga NPC named Meredith the Mermaiden, located in the waters near the beach.
Yep.
She met Narain when he crashed on the shore.
I never even did this part.
And asks you to deliver her love letter to him. Doing this will unlock some dialogue with her, where she gives you a swim speed buff so you can safely reach the island. Probably one of the least visited areas of the game back in the day. There's a little hut, some doodads about.
Whenever I first went to go here, I genuinely thought that people just made it up. And they were just telling me run out there so I'd have to take res sickness. I didn't believe them.
And a mound of dirt where the book is buried. Digging it up though, you instead find a ransom letter. Hey, you really didn't think it was going to be that easy, did you? You return this letter to Narain, and the instructions are that he's to deliver some gold at a drop-off point all the way in the Winter Spring Zone.
Oh, this is where you fight the gorilla.
He instead gives you a bag of rocks, a trap, and a disguise that changes your appearance to his. The actual drop-off point is located way out here on the map. That's actually cool. They have that. It's this small little peak here. So, you use the disguise, place the bag of rocks, and an NPC named Dr. Weevil will show up. This gorilla was really fucking hard to kill, by the way. Why does everyone get to fly? Did these guys buy Cataclysm already? What's going on?
Yeah, basically.
Naturally, the plan doesn't work.
Of course
Weevil
not.
sees through the disguise and summons a giant ape named Number 2 to attack you. This thing was a level 61 elite, requiring a party of 5 to take down.
He was about as strong as King Mosh. Look how much damage is in for it.
I remember helping a guildmate kill it back in the day,
700 on a tier 2 tank.
And getting knocked off the cliff to my doom. So
you
had to make sure that you pulled him away from there.
Yep.
Although you killed the ape, you're still bookless, and returning to Narain, you find out that Weevil ripped out the pages of the book and scattered them across the world, so we gotta track them down, naturally.
It's like every single time that you think that you get closer, you realize how much farther away you are. And like, in a way, I fucking hate quests that are like this, because every single time you get your chance, and then it just takes longer and longer and longer. It's like every fucking time, man. But it's almost like real life, and that's what I think is kind of interesting about it.
This is the start of a lot of globetrotting. These chapters are located all across the world, and are locked behind solo, party, and raiding content, and it's the roughest part of the Blue Shard chain.
I fucking hated this part, dude. This is the worst part.
I think we'll call it a video here. I wanted to get it done in 2 parts, but I gotta stop talking, so we'll finish up the chain in part 3, I guess. I hope you're enjoying this series so far, and I'll see you in the next one.
Think about this. This quest line, it takes longer for him to explain this quest line than it does for you to do any quest line in the current game.
Peace.
Farewell for now, mortals.
Relog? I don't know about relogging, dude. I guess I might as well.
Hey guys, what's up? MadSeason here, back with another video for you. I'm back to finally finish off the Scepter of the Shifting Sands quest line. It took a little longer than I expected, but we're gonna do it. If you remember, our current quest is to rebuild an ancient scepter to open the gates of Ankiraj. The entire server is gathering resources, and a special few people are going through this super long quest chain.
It's like you have all the nubs that are working underneath, all the important people doing the raids, just contributing a bunch of like rune cloth and bullshit, you know? It almost feels like everybody's working together. It's kind of like in the Avengers, where like the important Avengers went to fight Thanos and the shitty ones just did like whatever, right? It was like kind of the same thing.
Have the green, red, and bronze scepter shards, and we're in the middle of the blue shard chain. The quest we left off with was Draconic for Dummies Volume 2. The book was split up into several chapters and spread throughout the world, and we have to do a little scavenger hunt here to track them down.
This was really
There's
fun.
8 chapters total, and 4 of them you can either get solo or in a party of 5, and the remaining 4 needed some raiding.
You gotta go back to BWL. One of them's in that, and like right here. Yeah, it's right there.
It required a lot of patience, a lot of traveling, and a lot of dedication.
This one took me months to do.
And
At
remember,
level 80.
this was before quest markers were added, so you were in the dark for a lot of these. You were given a hint though. Talking to Narain, he says that you could find Weevil on the Alkaz Island in the Dustwallow Marsh Zone. This island was located off the northeast coast and was teeming with elite enemies.
You guys remember this shit,
and
huh?
Weevil himself was a raid boss, so once again, you had to bring your guild with you. He mind-controlled people and did some pretty heavy damage, so
he sure
he
did.
wasn't a chump.
Yeah, he deleted our
Killing him
entire raid.
allowed one person to loot the first chapter, and also his diary, which was crucial because it held the location of the remaining 7 chapters. Reading it reveals his hatred for Narain and his trip around the world.
Luckily, I just had to
He
look that up
dropped
on
one chapter
Thoughtbot.
off in Nefarian's lab, another down Anixia's chimney. Oh man, this is going to be rough.
Yeah, this was really hard.
But let's go through it one by one. The second chapter could be found in the Tainted Scar in the Blasted Land Zone, which is filled with elite demons. This is where the old raid boss, Kazakh, patrols. Luckily, you don't need to kill him though, just the demons in the area with a small...
This took me 3 hours. Like, the book has, like, literally a 2% drop rate from level 63 demon elites. Like, it was fucking ridiculous.
party. All of these non-raid chapters had an extremely low drop rate, so you had to have some pretty good friends to stick with you for the long haul. As for chapter 3,
I had to do it solo,
you can
as
get this
always.
from Elite Demons in the Dark Whisper Gorge hub, all the way back in Winter Spring.
I don't remember this. I don't remember going there. I
Chapter
think
4
I
was
guess that one must
located
have
on
been
a
easy for me.
table in the Stormwind Keep, which was very easy for Alliance players, and not so much for Horde.
Oh, it's a joke, yeah.
But before the Alliance had a chance to celebrate, Chapter 7 was located on a table in the Undercity,
Yep.
so each faction had it rough, as these chapters were located
And you couldn't fly
in
into the
bowels
city
of each
back then
city.
either.
And remember, no
You had to
flying,
ride in.
so you were better off getting these chapters in the
Yep.
wee hours of the morning
That's
before
right.
people log on. The final 3 record some raiding. Following the diary, Chapter 6 was looted from Anixia in Anixia's lair.
Onyxia was pretty
Chapter
easy,
8
though, to be
from
fair.
Ragnaros in the Molten Core, and Chapter 7 was located on a table after the Broodlord Lashlair boss in the Blackwing Lair.
Yeah, that one was pretty easy, too.
For
I
Chapter
remember
8, people speculated that the run was timed and the chapter would burn if you didn't clear the raid fast enough.
that. Really?
I don't think this was ever confirmed, though.
Yeah, I don't think that's
At least
a
to
thing.
my knowledge. And remember, only 1 drop per kill. So, it took a bit of globetrotting to say the least. But he got all 8 chapters, combined them into a book, and returned to Narain. As a reward, he got another purple. A cloth turban this time, aimed for casters, and it also had a...
I had this turban for like 4 years. And then some stupid part of me made me decide that I wanted to vendor it. I used to have this fucking turban and I lost it. I still feel really stupid about that. There are so many things that I vendored back in the day, and I really wish I didn't.
reduction in silence and interrupt effects, which was pretty interesting.
It's a good helmet.
But with that, you've tracked down all 3 items, and Narain thumbs through Azragos' ledger. The good news is that Narain can indeed make the Arcanite buoy needed to lure the minnow, but the bad news is that it's insanely expensive to make,
Yeah, that's
requiring 20
ridiculous.
Arcanite bars and 10 each of blue sapphires, Azerothian diamonds, and Elementium ingots. This was extremely expensive back in the day. Generally, your guild did supply you with the Elementium ingots. These dropped off of the trash mobs in the Blackwing Lair raid, and were also used in the creation of the Thunder Fury legendary. So
I used to farm the ingots back at level 70 for people that wanted to make Thunder Fury, and I'd always ninja loot them all. And I'd tell people that we were going to roll them off at the end of after we killed Nefarian, and then I'd walk off. Or like just go somewhere else, just hearth
at
away.
this point, your guild should have an ample supply of them if you've had Blackwing Lair on farm for
Yep.
a while. And if you are lucky, your
We
guild
were
would
bad
also
boys.
help you with the other stuff. Remember, there was sort of a competition and a race going on here, so teamwork was needed if your guild wanted to say that they held a Scepter bearer. The bars, the sapphires, and the diamonds you got all from mining high-level ore
Realistically,
veins.
this wasn't the hard part.
The bars specifically were a little slower to get because you needed arcane crystals from thorium veins.
Yeah, and it was on
and also
cooldown.
a
That's
thorium
right.
bar, and you brought those to an
Shit, I
alchemist to
forgot all about
transmute
that.
them to an arcanite bar once every 20 hours. So, you brought all of this stuff back to Narain, and as a reward, he gives you a buoy, and he also sends you 100 gold in the mill, which probably covers your repair costs from all the crap that you had
Really?
to go through at this point.
Wait, what the fuck? That's
But
awesome.
whatever. We have the buoy,
Holy shit.
so it's time to finally get that last shard.
Okay, here we go.
The minnow, as it turns out,
That's
is
the ring.
located
I
off the
still have
eastern
this
shore
ring,
of
man.
Ashara in the Bay of Storms.
Yep.
So, you take a raid with you, play the Jaws theme in the background, and use the buoy. Doing so will summon the aquatic outdoor raid boss, Maz.
Yep, you actually... There was an
He's a bit
outdoor
more
fucking
sharky
raid
than he
boss,
is
dude. This
minnowy,
was so badass.
and he hits rather hard. He also
was why my thing was
enrages,
a tier
so
3 sub, man.
having a
Appreciate
hunter
that.
dispel that with Tranquilizing Shot was vital.
Wait, prove it?
It's up! It's up, dude! It's up! Get on right now, it's up, dude!
Oh my god, it is up. Oh my god,
told you.
okay.